How do I find a new job? How can I make a career change? And the biggest question of all, can I really find a career that I love? Hey, my name is Jen Smith, and I believe career success doesn't have to be at the expense of living a radiantly happy and healthy lifestyle. As a former HR leader and recruiter turned career coach, I get what companies are looking for when hiring top talent. What that means for you is an unmatched combination of insider knowledge and the best kept secrets about making heart-based career changes and navigating the ups and downs of job searching in today's world of work. Whether you're a recent graduate navigating the job market for the first time or a seasoned professional ready for a career change, this show is for you. So grab your coffee or your kombucha, pull up a seat, and get ready to be challenged and inspired to move beyond your self-doubt and take the right next steps towards landing a career you love. Because you deserve a long, radiantly happy and healthy career. This is the Flourish Careers Podcast. Hello, and welcome back to the Flourish Careers Podcast. I'm your host, Jen Smith, and today we are going to talk about a topic many of us have faced at some point in our careers, which is making heart-based decisions when at a career crossroads. So when you're at a crossroads in your career, it can be overwhelming and challenging. There's all kinds of decisions to make. Things like, do I stay my current path or explore new options? Do I take a risk or play it safe? Maybe that classic 80s rock song by The Clash is playing in the background of your day-to-day. Should I stay or should I go? These tough questions can leave you confused and unsure of what to do. Personally, I've experienced these challenges multiple times throughout my career, and statistics show that I'm not alone in this experience. Recently, the Surgeon General released a report about well-being at work, indicating the stress that work puts on our overall well-being when we're not in alignment. And in this report, they assessed the perceptions of over 11,000 workers across 17 industries in the United States. And some of the stats are pretty eye-opening. So 76% of U.S. workers reported at least one mental health condition or symptom over the last 2 years. 84% reported work affected their mental health negatively. 81% of people will look for workplaces that support well-being, and 80% of workers surveyed said that workplace stress affects their relationships with their family, friends, and coworkers. So as we all know, these stressors stem from heavy workloads, long commutes, unpredictable schedules, limited autonomy, low salaries, and so many other challenges. And we also know what happens when chronic stress negatively affects our bodies. So it disrupts our sleep, increased muscle tension, and it can even advance our exposure to infection and other health challenges. So all of this highlights the importance of making intentional career decisions that align with you and your values and your priorities. So in this episode, we're going to discuss 6 options to consider when you're at a career crossroads, 3 steps to help you move forward when you're at a career crossroads, and then we're going to wrap up with a handful of decision-making techniques. So this episode is jam-packed with suggestions and frameworks and guidance. So grab your favorite pen and notebook and let's get to it. So when you're facing a career crossroads, there are several options to consider. And I'm going to share 6 of them with you. And these are kind of the 6 that I've heard over and over working with so many career changers. So option number 1 is to stay the course. So you can continue working in your current career path, maintaining your current role, industry, company, and way of working. Option number 2 is to make a transition within the same industry. So instead of completely changing industries, you might decide to explore different roles or positions within your current industry. So, for example, maybe you work in the healthcare industry as a nurse and you decide that you're going to stay in the healthcare industry, but change roles into maybe a recruiting specialist to hire new nurses. So, that would be a role change within the same industry. Option number 3 is to transition to a different sector or a different industry. So if you're seeking a significant change, you might consider transitioning industries by leveraging your skills and experience in a different context. So an example here might be, let's say you're a finance manager and you want to make an industry change from ed tech into biotech. So as a finance manager, you can apply your skills regardless of the industry. Option number 4 is to join a new company. So same role, same industry, but new company. Exploring opportunities with a new company can provide fresh perspectives, new challenges, and career growth. Option number 6 might be a new location. So maybe you're relocating to a new city or a new country. This could involve multiple career decisions. And then lastly, you might consider exploring different ways of working. So you could prioritize your lifestyle values and maybe you're looking for more flexibility. And so you want to do some part-time work or create a portfolio career like we talked about with Cassie, which I'll add to the show notes. So this option might involve multiple part-time roles or freelancing or even pursuing entrepreneurial endeavors. So these are just 6 ideas. There's lots of ways to incorporate different combinations of these ideas. It's not an all-inclusive list by any means, but I wanted to share a couple of these with you. Now, you also might consider taking a staged approach, which will assist you in exploring different options over a gradual amount of time while you're in transition. So, for example, I see this happen a lot with relocations. So let's say you're moving to a new company and to a new city. Maybe you decide to relocate first, get settled in that new city, and then jump into a strategic job search. Or the opposite, you decide to make a company change first, live in temporary housing, then once you're settled into your new role, find a comfortable place to live. So again, it's important to remember there's not a one-size-fits-all solution when you're making these decisions. Your situation is unique and what works for you might not work for somebody else. So now that we've talked through the different types of decisions that you might consider, let's talk about what to do when you're at a career crossroads. First and foremost, take the pressure off. So remember, this decision doesn't have to be permanent. I talk with so many job seekers who get caught up in the idea that their next role or company or industry needs to be perfect and that they're going to be in that job forever, which just isn't the case. So this is not written in blood or written in cement. Take the pressure off. When you take the pressure off, you can allow yourself to explore new options, maybe take some risks without fearing that you're making a permanent, quote unquote, mistake. So taking a job that doesn't check every single box is okay if it aligns with your values and allows you to learn and grow. Every job can be seen as a stepping stone based on what's happening in this season of your career. And remember, your career is a path. It is okay to pause and take detours along the way. So now that we've taken the pressure off, it's time to do some self-reflection. So when facing a career crossroads, taking time for self-reflection is necessary. This means stepping back and evaluating what you want and don't want in your career. So let's start with the classic stay or go question. So if you're contemplating the stay or go question, think about a couple things here. Number 1, are you learning? So 99% of people that come to me about making a change express that they're no longer learning anything in their current role. So if you decide to stay the course, consider what steps you can take to enhance your skills or upskill to make your current role more fulfilling. Also, think about the teams and the people you work with. Do you like them? Tons of people stay in roles and at companies because they love the people, which is great. Although if you're unfulfilled in all the other areas of your career and you're only staying in a role or at a company because of other people, it might be time to think about how you could stay in touch with those people without working together day to day, which, by the way, technology makes this so easy. Another question to think about if you're in the stay or go situation is to reflect on whether or not you feel like you're making an impact. So when you are at the time of retirement and looking back and you're thinking about the impact you left or the legacy that you led, are you making an impact or do you feel like something is still missing? So I remember this feeling of emptiness inside of me when I was making the decision to leave corporate and start self-employment. So I just felt really empty, like I had more to give and more to do. And that feeling led me to give self-employment a try. So those are all considerations if you're contemplating the classic stay or go question. Another effective strategy for self-reflection is journaling. So writing down your thoughts and feelings can help you process your emotions and better understand your motivations. So you could start a weekly reflection ritual where you're closing out each week by reflecting on how you feel. Maybe you're writing down what went well, what didn't go well, what you learned, what you're celebrating, what you want to let go of. So you can have a couple standard questions and keep this log for a few weeks. And this is going to help you recognize patterns and make better decisions. Another strategy for self-reflection that can help point out blind spots is taking assessments. So maybe the Enneagram or the Myers-Briggs or StrengthsFinder, or I saw Adam Grant has an assessment called Principles U. So these assessments can provide insights into your personality and your strengths, which help identify potential paths and help you make decisions. Like anything, I always recommend use them as a tool, take what works, and leave the rest. You could also seek feedback from trusted friends and family members or colleagues and mentors. This can be really beneficial in gaining perspective and identifying a new path. So the bottom line here is that self-reflection can increase your awareness and confidence in decision-making. So as you better understand who you are and what you want, it'll help you when you're at these crossroads. So now, once you've taken the pressure off, you've done some self-reflection, it's time for exploration. So exploring new career options is a significant step in making informed decisions when you're at a crossroads. So this means researching and gaining exposure to different paths. So start easy, online research. You can join professional networking platforms like LinkedIn or an industry-specific forum that can help you learn and gain insights. Listening to podcasts is a fantastic way to explore and understand a new path. Reading books or articles all will help you. Mentorship is another great way to explore. So seek out a mentor in a field that you're interested in. They can provide you with guidance and share experiences and different advice to help you explore a new path. Informational interviews or advice chats are highly recommended. So reach out to people in your desired field and learn about their paths and experiences. And if you can reach out to people in your desired field and at a company that you're interested in, you are going to take that conversation to the next level. And I have a whole episode dedicated to this, which I will link to. Internships or apprenticeships offer an exceptional opportunity to explore and test the waters before committing fully. Starting a side gig or doing some pro bono work will give you hands-on experience in a specific field and help you determine if that path is in alignment for you. This is how I got into career coaching full-time. Exploration can also help you avoid regret and what ifs. So it's so much better to explore and realize that something isn't a fit than to constantly wonder what if or regret not trying. Or worse, making a big change without exploring and then finding out 6 months later it's out of alignment for you, and then you're back in the search in 6 months, which we don't want to happen. So by actively engaging in exploration, you can eliminate uncertainty and that potential regret of not trying. It allows you to move forward knowing you've confidently explored and considered different possibilities. Okay, so now that we've taken the pressure off, we've done some self-reflection and exploration, it's time to make a decision. So let's talk through a couple decision-making considerations. Number 1 is weighing the pros and cons of each choice. So start by clearly defining your decision and be really specific about what you're trying to decide. List out the pros, make a comprehensive list of the decision's potential advantages, benefits, or positive outcomes. You might consider both short and long-term implications when you're making this list. Then from there, create the list of cons. So the decision's potential disadvantages or drawbacks or adverse outcomes. You want to take into account any risks or costs or potential challenges that might come into play. And then from there, I always like to help people assign weights or priorities. So for example, if somebody is making a decision, I'll usually have them list out their core and lifestyle values, like really list them out, and then weigh the pros and cons on a scale of 1 to 5 against their core and lifestyle values. From there, you consider which factors are more significant or relevant in this season of your career, and then you evaluate the potential impact. So assess the potential impact of each pro and each con on your goals, your values, and your overall well-being. Making this pro and con list can help you consider alternatives or that staged approach to your career change that I talked about in the beginning. So based on your analysis and your reflection, choose the option that most closely aligns with you. Another way to help you is a decision-making technique that involves 3 inquiries. So a little bit different than a pro and con list. So inquiry number 1 is, what are the advantages associated with this decision? So this question prompts you to assess the potential benefits and opportunities that arise from that option. And then by focusing on the advantages, you better understand the decision's gains and rewards. Then from there, inquiry number 2 is, what are the potential trade-offs? So this question helps you identify and evaluate the drawbacks and the risks or the sacrifices that come with your decision. This will help you get a realistic perspective on the potential challenges or compromises that you might need to make. And it helps you assess each option's potential or negative consequences. And then inquiry number 3 is, how do I feel about each? So this question brings focus back to your emotions and your intuition, and it encourages you to reflect on how you genuinely feel about each option. Paying attention to those gut instincts will help you make aligned decisions. So considering how you feel about each choice can provide valuable insights into that alignment with your overall well-being. And this approach acknowledges the importance of aligning your choices with what truly matters. It helps you make decisions that are in harmony with your authentic self, promoting that sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. The last decision-making technique I have for you is imagining yourself in a new role, a new industry, a new company, or in a new way of working. And by imagining yourself in this new way of working or new role or new company, you can mentally explore the day-to-day responsibilities, the work environment, and the challenges and rewards that come with it. Visualizing yourself in a position can help you assess if it aligns with your interests and your skills and your overall intentions. It allows you to envision how you might fit into a role or with a new company. Does it spark enthusiasm and fulfillment? Imagine yourself in this new path and take note of those gut feelings. Do you feel excited and motivated and passionate? Or do you feel just kind of indifferent? So your emotional response can provide you with incredibly valuable insights into whether or not a path is going to feel aligned. When you're faced with multiple career options, imagining yourself in each can clarify those preferences and priorities and allow you to compare and contrast different paths. So in summary, navigating a career crossroads can be challenging and overwhelming. Whether you're changing roles, industries, companies, locations, or crafting a new way of working. However, by taking the pressure off, using self-reflection, exploration, and effective decision-making, you will make informed, heart-based career decisions that align with your core and lifestyle values and priorities. Self-reflection will help you clarify what you want and what you don't want. Exploration will lead to discovering new paths and gaining valuable insights to make the most informed decisions. An effective decision-making involves weighing the pros and cons, considering your values and priorities, and imagining yourself on a new path and tapping into your highest self. Remember that career decisions are not one-time events. They are ongoing. This is a process that requires continuous self-reflection and exploration. And by aligning decisions with your true self and your intentions, you will make choices that lead to a much more fulfilling and purposeful path. And if you still need help, I'm always here. Don't be afraid to reach out. I have lots of options to partner together and a ton of resources to help you because you deserve a long, radiantly happy and healthy career. That's a wrap for this week. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to support the show, please consider recommending it to a friend. For detailed show notes, please visit the Flourish Careers blog at flourish.careers/blog. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll talk to you next time.